Good morning, students. So, yesterday we had an introduction about the sunny morning, and I gave a small summary of that along with the characters and also the places. And today we'll start with the play. So, the characters are, as I said, Donna Laura, Petra, her maid, Don Gonzalo, another old man of about 70, and his servant Jonito. So these are the characters. Then we have the scene. It takes place in a sunny morning in a retired corner of a park in Madrid. I told you the play takes place in Madrid, the capital city of Spain, and it was a sunny morning. And retired corner means there was nobody, it was empty. So it was a park in Madrid where people were not there, and it was a sunny morning. Autumn, it was a season of autumn. Autumn means it comes after summer and before winter. It is called as fall. Americans call as the fall. That means leaves fall. It is a dry season. The scene is that there is a bench at the right. Donna Laura, a handsome white-haired old lady of 70, refined in appearance, her bright eyes and entire manner giving evidence that, despite her age, her mental faculties are unimpaired, enters leaning upon the arm of her maid Petra. See, though she is old, but her mental faculties, she is quite active, unimpaired. She comes entering the park holding the arm of her maid Petra, servant Petra. In her free hand, she carries a parasol which serves also as a cane. Parasol means it's a colorful umbrella. She carries an umbrella and sometimes she uses it as a cane, walking a stick. Now we'll go to the conversation. Donna Laura, I am glad to be here. I feared my seat would be occupied. What a beautiful morning. So Donna Laura is talking to Petra. She says, I'm so happy to be here. And I thought somebody else would have occupied my bench. Luckily there was nobody. And it was a beautiful morning. Petra replies, the sun is hot. It was a morning time. But she says that the sun is hot. Donna Laura, yes, you are only 20. This is something like a critical remark. That means you are only 20 years old, and how it will be. So she sits down on the bench, one end of the bench. Oh, I feel more tired today than usual. As usual, she used to be very fresh. Today she feels little tired. Noticing Petra, who seems impatient. See, Petra, as soon as she comes, she used to go and chat with the guard. Daily she used to do that. Now she wants to go. That is why she is impatient. So Laura realizes that and tells her, go if you wish to chat with your guard. Come on, go. If you are interested, go and pass the time with the guard. Then Petra replies, he is not mine, Senora. See, Senora, Senora. These are respectable terms used as Lord, Lady in England, Master in other countries. So, Senora. He belongs to the park. So Petra tells, he is not my guard. He is a guard of the park. He belongs to the park. He does not belong to me. Then Laura replies, he belongs more to you than he does to the park. He belongs more to you than he does to the park. Go, find him, but remain within calling distance. Go and find out where he is and keep chatting with him. And then, but be near so that when I call, you must come. Then Petra, I see him over there waiting for me. So Petra was searching and she could see him. Laura, do not remain more than 10 minutes. Don't stay long. Just for 10 minutes, you can be with him, you can chat and you can talk to him, but you must come back. So Petra, very well, Senora. Okay, I'll come back. So she walks to the right, she goes. Laura, wait a moment. She just calls her. Petra, what does the Senora wish? She gets irritated. Petra, why? What is this lady wants? Laura, Donna Laura, give me the breadcrumbs. See, while coming, Petra had brought the breadcrumbs for the birds, and she did not hand over to Donna Laura. That is why she is calling her, give me the breadcrumbs, then go. Petra, I don't know what is the matter with me. So Petra tells, I don't know why I forget. Daily I used to hand over. Today something wrong. I have forgotten. Donna Laura smiling. I do. Here I do means I know. I know what is the matter with you. Your head is where your heart is with the God. That means your head. You are thinking about your God and your heart is there. That is why you are forgetting to hand over the breadcrumbs. Petra, here Senora. So she hands over the bag of breadcrumbs and then goes out. Donna Laura, adios. Adios means goodbye. In French it is called adieu, and in the Spanish language it is adios. Glances towards the trees at the right. Then it just looks at the trees because she is expecting the birds to come. Here they come. They know just when to expect me. The birds know when I am coming. So they are just coming. She rises, walks towards the right and throws 3 handfuls of bread. So she just throws some bread pieces, crumbs. These are for the spryest. There are different varieties of birds. The first one is the spryest. The spryest are the kind of birds which are very active and very energetic also. So they come first and take the breadcrumbs. Second is, these are for the gluttons. Second variety of birds is gluttons. Gluttons means who eat excessively. They eat like anything. Sometimes, some children or some people, they start eating. And they are called, that is called as gluttony. So gluttons means they eat excessively, more than the requirement. And the third variety is, and these are for the little ones which are more persistent. The third one is persistent. They will not come nearby, they will just wait there. And then she laughs because she is so happy seeing all these birds. She returns to her seat and watches with a pleased expression the pigeons feeding. So daily she used to bring breadcrumbs, sit down on the bench, and the birds will come. She will throw the crumbs, they will start eating, and she will feel so happy. The first kind of birds are the spryest, energetic and active. Second are the gluttons, who eat excessively, and the little ones who are more persistent. Then the big one is always first. She has recognized them differently. One was with a big head, so she used to call it as a big one. And I know him by his big head. Now one, now another, now two, now three, one by one they are coming. That little fellow is the least timid, and one bird was very shy nature. It was not coming nearby. It was just standing outside. So that was a timid one. So I believe he would eat from a hand. So what she thought, the bird will come, sit on her hand and then start eating. That one takes his piece and flies up to the branch. He is the philosopher. One more bird. It doesn't come. When all have taken, it will come alone, take the breadcrumbs, go back to the top of the tree branch, and it will start sitting there. And Donna Laura calls the bird philosopher. But where do they all come from? It seems as if the news had spread. How they all come to know? As soon as I come, they all come. Ha ha! Don't quarrel. In between there is some quarrel. There's enough for all. I brought sufficient. I'll give everybody. Don't quarrel. I'll bring more tomorrow. So she tells them that I'll bring some more the next day. By the meantime, enter Don Gonzalo and Jonito from left. See, this because it is a play, they all give all these directions. Jonito comes from the left and they go from the right. Don Gonzalo is an old gentleman of 70. He's an old man, a gentleman of 70 years old. Gauty and impatient. Gauty means having some knee pain. They generally, those are old people, they have joint pain. So he has got that problem. That means he is not able to walk properly. He will not be lifting his leg. He will be dragging and walking. While dragging, he will make lot of dust. And that is why gauty. And impatient. And generally old people get impatient. They get angry. For small things also they get annoyed. So he leans upon Jonito's arm and drags his feet somewhat as he walks. So because he is gauty, he drags his feet. He is not lifting the feet, he just drags and walks very slowly. And Gonzalo, he observes his usual bench. Daily used to come and sit on some bench. That bench was occupied by somebody. And then he says, idling their time away. See, they are sitting and idling their time. They are idling their time. They are idling their time. Sorry. You can sit here, Senor. They should be saying Mass at this time. They should be, that means they were priests. They are supposed to say Mass. Instead of doing that, they are coming and sitting on the bench and idling away their time. Jonito tells Gonzalo, this bench, there is a place in this bench where the lady is sitting. So you can sit here, Senor. There is only a lady. Donna Laura turns her head and listens. She just looks at him and listens. I want Jonito. Gonzalo does not want to share the bench. I want a bench to myself. I want a separate bench. I don't want to sit on the same bench. Jonito tells, but there is none. There is no other bench. So only one is there. And she is sitting on one corner and you can sit on the other corner. That one over there is mine. Then Gonzalo points out to his usual bench and tells that that is his bench. Then Jonito tells, there are 3 priests sitting there. Of course, it is your bench only, but there are already 3 priests sitting there. Generally, one more question they asked, who were sitting on Gonzalo's bench? 3 priests were sitting. Then Gonzalo tells, root them out, send them out. Then have they gone? You see, he doesn't have even patience. Immediately he is asking, have they gone? He does not wait. Then Jonito, no indeed. No, they are just talking, they have not gone. Just as if they were glued to the seat. So Gonzalo is telling angrily, see, they are as if they are pasted to the seat, glued to the seat. No hope of their leaving. I don't think they will go so early. They are just sitting and wasting their time. Come this way, Jonito. Then they just walk towards the bird's right side. They just come around. Laura looks indignantly. Laura is getting annoyed because the birds are disturbed. So she tells, indignantly means angrily, look out. Be careful. Don't disturb the birds. Gonzalo, as if he has not heard, he just tells, are you speaking to me, Senora? Are you speaking to me? Then Donna Laura, yes, to you. Don Gonzalo, what do you wish? What do you want? And Laura replies, you have scared away the birds who were feeding on my crumbs. So you have disturbed the birds. They were happily eating the breadcrumbs. You have scared them away. Then Gonzalo, he gets annoyed. What do I care about the birds? Why I should care about your birds? But Laura tells, yes, but I do. That means I care. I take interest. I care for the birds. Gonzalo replies, this is a public park. This is not your park. It is a public park. Then, why do you complain that the priests have taken your bench? See, Laura is asking then, okay, it is a public park only. Then why did you say that priests are sitting on your bench? Then Gonzalo just avoids this conversation, tells, Senora, we have not met. So this is the first time we are meeting. So why you talk unwanted things? I cannot imagine why you take the liberty of addressing me. Why you are talking to me? I did not talk to you. Why you are talking to me? Come, Jonito. Then both go out right. Jonito is the servant, so both of them go right. Then Laura just murmurs, tells, what an ill-natured old man. What a kind of man. Bad-natured, ill-natured man. Why must people get so fuzzy and cross when they reach a certain age? Looking just towards him, the right, she tells, when people become older, they become fuzzy, they become cross, as if she is very young, she is also 70. So she tells about the other man that people become fuzzy and cross when they become old. Then I am glad. Why she is glad? Because he lost that bench. Gonzalo did not get his usual bench. So she feels happy about that. Serves him right for scaring the birds. Yes, it is a punishment for him because he has scared away the birds. He is furious. He is angry always. He is furious. Yes. Find a seat if you can. She just tells slowly, go and find out if you can get a bench. Poor man. He is wiping the perspiration from his face. He has become so tired and he was wiping out the perspiration from his face. Here he comes. So again they come back. A carriage would not raise more dust than his feet. That means, as I told you, he is gouty. He cannot lift his legs. He is dragging his feet. And because of that, lot of dust is produced. So she just remarks, a carriage would not raise more dust than his feet. But that time, they both come in. Don Gonzalo and Jonito, they enter by the right and walk towards the left. Gonzalo, have the priests yet gone yet? Gonzalo is asking Jonito, hey, find out whether the priests have gone. Jonito, no indeed, Senor. They are still there. No, they have not gone. They are still there only. Some of the areas are very repeatedly asked for reported speech. Have they these things and all. Then Don Gonzalo, the authorities should place more benches here for these sunny mornings. So Gonzalo tells that then sunny morning more people come and the authorities should put more benches for the public. Well, I suppose I must resign myself and sit on the bench with the old lady. See, he remarks about her as an old lady. She was telling him about an old man, as if that they are not old. So, finally, I must resign myself. That means I must give up. No other way. And sit on the bench with the old lady, muttering to himself. Muttering means telling slowly, without hearing. Slowly she is muttering. He sits on the extreme end of Donna Laura's bench. If you see the first page, she sits on the other end, extreme end, and looks at her indignantly. In the beginning you might have seen, Laura also looks at him indignantly. Now, Gonzalo is looking at her indignantly, touches his hat as he greets her. then touches his hat and then greets her by saying, "Good morning." Laura just did not reply to that. She just asked, "What? You here again? You come again?" "I repeat that we have not met." Gonzalo is telling, "First time we are seeing you. How do you talk so much to an unknown person?" Then, "Donna Laura, I was responding to your salute. I was just replying. You wished me good morning, so I am responding to that." For that, Gonzalo tells, "Good morning should be answered by good morning." And that is all you should have said. See, when I say good morning, you should reply by good morning, not ask many other questions. So, good morning should have been answered by good morning. And that is all you should have said. Then Laura, you should have asked permission to sit on this bench. Laura is telling, how you sit without asking my permission? You are just coming and sitting. Bench which is mine. She tells that this bench is mine. Should have asked me permission before sitting. Then Gonzalo tells, the benches are for public property. The benches are not yours. They are public property. The park is public. Benches are public. So how can you say that it is your bench? Laura in turn asks, why? You said the one means the bench. The priests have was yours. You only told that the bench where the priests are sitting is yours. Gonzalo, you will change the topic now. Very well, very well. I have nothing more to say. Between his teeth means very slowly, without listening. She will not listen. Senile old lady, senile, adamant old lady. She ought to be at home knitting and counting her beads. So instead of coming to the park, she should have been sitting at home, since she's so old lady, and start doing some knitting work or counting the beads. That means prayer, counting the beads. Instead of that, she's coming and sitting in the park. Laura, don't grumble anymore. Laura just listens that he is muttering. So she tells, don't grumble. I'm not going to leave just to please you. Just because you will be happy, I won't leave. Then Gonzalo, what he does, he takes out his handkerchief and cleans his shoes. See, brushing the dust from his shoes with the handkerchief, he tells, if the ground were sprinkled a little, it would been an improvement. See, if the grammar aspect, if the ground were sprinkled, correct English is if the ground was sprinkled. When we use were, it is called as supposition. If the ground were sprinkled, that means madididre. That's a supposition. If the ground was sprinkled, neer hakididre, it would have been an improvement. Then this area is very, very important. Even this exam, second PU exam on 18th, reported speech was given this one only. From here, do you use your handkerchief as a shoe brush until a neighbor's right? This was given repeatedly, it comes. And I had given practice on this for them. So see, do you use your handkerchief as a shoe brush? Laura is asking, do you use your handkerchief as a shoe brush? Gonzalo, what he tells? Why not? Why I can use? It is my handkerchief, it is my shoe. Why I should not use? Then Laura again asked, do you use a shoe brush as a handkerchief? Can you use a brush as a handkerchief? Then Gonzalo gets annoyed. What right have you to criticize my action? Who are you to criticize my action? Then Laura replies, a neighbor's right. At present I am your neighbor here. I am sitting beside you. You are taking out a handkerchief and washing cleaning your shoes. So it creates a lot of dust. So I can definitely ask a neighbor's right. That means it is my right. Then Gonzalo, Jonito, my book. So Jonito is very, if you see the dialogues, is very much, suddenly he will change his topic as if he has not listened to her. Take out my book. I do not care to listen to nonsense. Gonzalo tells, She's talking all nonsense. I am not ready to listen. So give me the book. I want to read. Donna Laura, you are very polite. Laura also is able to hear whatever he is telling. But she just tells, yes, you are very polite. Gonzalo, as if he has not heard, he tells, pardon me, Sinora, but never interfere with what does not concern you. Don't interfere with is not concerning you. That means, why you worry? I can take out my kerchief or anything. I can clean my shoes. Why you are worrying? Don't interfere. Then, Donna Laura, I generally say what I think. Whatever I feel, I openly speak out. Don Gonzalo, and more to the same effect. Even me, I always, whatever I feel, I will speak it out. Give me the book, Jonito. Then Gonzalo asked Jonito to give the book. Jonito, here's an or. And then he takes out the book. Jonito takes a book from his pocket, hands it to Don Gonzalo, then exits by right. He gives the book, then he goes to the right. Casting indignant glances, Don Gonzalo, casting indignant glances at Donna Laura. Angry look. Indignant means angry look at Donna Laura. Puts on an enormous pair of glasses. Big glass. He takes out a big glass, specs, and wears it. Takes from his pocket a reading glass. Along with that, he takes another glass, which is only meant for reading. That is magnifying glass. Adjusts both to suit him and opens his book. So he puts two glasses. One is a big glass, normal specs, and over that another reading glass. And he adjusts both so that he can read the book. Then Donna Laura, I thought you were taking out a telescope. So Laura says that, just criticizing him. I thought you were taking out telescope. Such a big specs you are having. Then Gonzalo, as if he has not heard, he says, was that you? Who are you talking? Was that you? It was you. Donna Laura, your sight must be keen. See how critical remarks, He is having one specs, one magnifying glass, and then reading. And what Laura tells? Your eyesight is very keen, very sharp. Then Gonzalo, keener than yours is. Of course, it is much keener than your eyesight. Yes, evidently. Laura says, yes, of course. Ask the hares and partridges. Gonzalo tells, you won't find out from the hares, that means rabbits, and partridges, birds. That means he used to go for hunting. He had a good eyesight. That's all he wants to say. Laura, do you hunt? Oh, you go for hunting also? I did. And even now, I go for hunting sometimes. Oh yes, of course. Then Gonzalo, yes, Sinora, every Sunday, I take my gun and dog, you understand, and go to one of my estates near Aravaca and kill time. So Don Gonzalo says, even now, every Sunday, I go out with my gun and dog and then go to one of his estates near Aravaca and then pass the time, kill the time. So Laura replies, yes, kill time. That is all you kill. That means she is just criticizing. What you can kill? You can only kill the time. Then Gonzalo, do you think so? I could show you a wild boar's head in my study. So Gonzalo tells, if you come to my house, I can show a wild boar's head. Wild boar, animal, head in my study room. Then Laura tells, Donna Laura, yes, and I could show you a tiger skin in my boudoir. What does that prove? See, Laura, what she tells, you come to my room, my house, and I'll show you a tiger skin in my boudoir. Boudoir means ladies' private room. So in my room, I can show you a tiger skin. What does that prove? What does it mean? Does it mean that I am a great hunter? So she wants to criticize him by telling that just a wild boar's head does not mean that indicate that he is a good hunter. And she tells that she too has got a tiger skin in her boudoir, and that does not mean that she is a good hunter. Gonzalo, straight away he will change the topic. Very well, Senora, please allow me to read. Enough conversation. Saku, sufficient. Let me start reading. So today I'll stop here. Page number 39 and I am stopping. And tomorrow we'll continue with the continuation of this dialogue. So here you must remember, as I told you in the beginning itself, it is a romantic comedy. The dialogues are a bit of comedy, and how romance comes is at the end only, after half the romance starts, because they realize that they are the real lovers. They spin a lot of stories and all that. Then finally they realize that is why there is romance and also there is comedy. If you see the dialogues, it's a very important play. And exams only we have 6 mark questions also, 4 mark questions on grammar aspect. Every year they generally take out from this lesson only for reported speech and all that. So you must be thorough with this. That is why I don't want to cover up the complete lesson in a day. We'll go part by part. Yesterday we gave you about introductions and also about the summary. And today we just studied about just again little bit of revision I'll do. Short again, then you will come to know. So the characters are Donna Laura, Petra, Don Gonzalo, Jonito. And it was a sunny morning in in the park in Madrid, season of autumn. First enters Donna Laura, a handsome young lady, lady of 70, along with her servant Petra. Then she is leaning on her arm. She holds a parasol, which also used as a cane. Then she feels happy that her bench is still free, not occupied. Then she sends the servant, that is Petra, to go and chat with the guard. So she goes. Then she hands over the breadcrumbs so that she sits on the bench. She starts feeding the birds. Different kinds of birds are there. What are the birds? One is spryest. They are very energetic, very active. The second is gluttons, who eat excessively. And there are some little ones, small ones, which are very persistent. Then there's a big one with a big head. Then another one is timid, least timid, very shy nature. Sometimes it comes and sits on her hand and eats. Then we have finally the philosopher, who comes alone, picks up the breadcrumbs, and then goes to the branch and sits alone. So she is so happy that as soon as she comes, all the birds fly and come to her, and she starts feeding them. Then these two come, Gonzalo and Jonito. They come from the left side, and while entering, they just disturb the birds, and she gets annoyed, irritated. Then he finds his bench occupied by 3 people, that is 3 priests. Then he just tells Jonito, go and root them out, send them out. What they are doing there. Then she tells him that he had disturbed the birds. Then he says that it is a public park and he doesn't care for the birds. But she says, yes, but I do care. I care for the birds. Then again, Gonzalo asks Jonito to find out whether the priests have gone or not. Still they are sitting. Then he wishes her good morning, but she doesn't reply. Then he tells her, see, good morning must be answered by good morning only. Then she asks him, why you are not taken permission for sitting? Then he tells that the benches are public property. Then she asks him, then why did you say that your bench is occupied by the priest? So similarly, the conversation goes. Then he takes out his handkerchief and starts brushing his shoes. Then she gets annoyed. Then she asks him, do you use the handkerchief as a shoe brush? Then it is, why not? It is my wish and will. I can do anything. Then finally, she says that it's a neighbor's ride. Then Jonito hands over the book. He brings always a book, and Gonzalo will start reading. Before reading, he takes out his glasses, big pair of glasses, and another reading glass. He adjusts them both, and Laura observes and tells, I thought you were taking out a telescope. Then they just talk to each other about their sight. It is more keener than yours. And Gonzalo tells that he used to go and hunt hares and partridges, and refers to his house where he keeps a wild boar's head. And every Sunday he used to take his gun and dog and go to one of his estates near Arawaka and kill the time. And to that, Laura replies, I too have a tiger skin in my boudoir, in my room. What does it mean? Does it mean that I am a hunter? So in this way, they both have different bit of conversations. They get annoyed, they get irritated, but later on it develops into smooth dialogues because they realize each other. This tomorrow will continue. Okay, thank you.